We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Diana, we'll have you lead it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public communication, Candace, do we have any? Then for today? All right, need an adoption of the agenda, please.
I move we adopt the agenda
Second.
presented.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Learning without limits. It looks like we have Shelby Ross from JAG here to present for us. Yes, please.
Pretty excited to be here tonight. I just want to tell you, my name is Shelby Ross, and I work at the amazing Seaman High School. And I want to tell you that it's been an amazing second year for me. And JAG is really, it's progressing. We're doing good things. So I'm just excited. I have students here that are going to help go through the presentation because it's about me and it's not about me. But I want to tell you a little bit about, this is one of our vice presidents. So she's going to kind of talk to you and tell you about JAG. I don't know if anybody's ever been here like this before. So I just want to tell you, I met Mr. McNorth. We got to see him at the Capitol last year. So, you know, we're doing a lot of good things going on. Our biggest thing right now that we're doing is we're going to the Chiefs games, doing some neat things. The kids are getting employment. They're scanning tickets. They're giving out stuff to people, and they're also getting to enjoy the Chiefs game. We've even got our bus drivers to go. They love it. They got to scan tickets and do it. So, I mean, it's been an amazing event, and we've had a lot of good things going on. So I'm just excited because we're going to blow it out the water. We have more in store.
Exciting.
So with the members that we have, I mean, I've got 62 students, the most that's ever been there in the program, and it's just been quite amazing. So I'm bragging because you know what? The kids really like it. You know, it's not a study hall, it's not a hangout. They're doing stuff. We're learning about stuff. You know, we had 8 kids go on Saturday to help with the parade. We had 2 different shifts. They got to do the gates, the entrances, and a lot of different things going on. So we had a lot of good things going on for our kids. So we try to be involved to do things. Sometimes they say, Mr. Ross, do I have to? I say, well, hey, if you want to be involved and you want to do this, you got to keep it moving. So, and it's just about, they're just trying to figure it out. You know, we have a lot of kids, a lot of people don't realize that are going through some things. They've never seen things. I was surprised that the kids has never even really been to Kansas City before. Or kids has never really even know there was anything outside of Topeka. You know, so I get excited when I talk about what this program does, and it's showing them the world and showing them how to communicate. I've got some kids that I've got jobs here, kids that I didn't ever think they'd have a job. I have one kid that I got a job at Walmart. He's working at Walmart, and I tell you what, I never thought this kid would even work 2 days. He's been there almost a year. So when you think about what our kids are doing, you see them around town, you see them doing things, and that makes me feel good. You know, when I go to eat somewhere and they come and help me, I don't have to feel bad to wonder how the food's going to be because they get excited. So I don't want to talk too much, but I'm going to let the young lady start here. She can introduce herself, and she's going to tell you what GNAP is. All my students that are in my class, they know what a GNAP is. Explain what a GNAP is.
Nation.
So everybody they meet when we go somewhere, that's what they have to do, is the GNAP. So when they speak, when they come, that's the way they talk to someone. They want to give the purpose, they want to give their name, they want to get all that information so we don't have any issues of understanding who we are. So I'll let you get started with that.
I'm gonna have you step in front of the mic if you
Yes,
can.
sorry.
That'd be great.
So our mission statement for JAG, well, it's Jobs for American Graduates. Kansas will help prepare students for successful futures. We will partner with students, help identify a career path compatible to their interests and skills, and overcome the various challenges they put at risk of not attending educational and career success. We all want students to have successful futures. That's our JAG case specialist, Shelby Ross. So in 25 to 2026 school year, a traditional model is JAG operates 121 programs in 85 Kansas schools. and 54 Kansas school districts divided into 4 regions. Number of students served based on 80% roster capacity is 6,500. Success Academy Services, JAG-K has 7 Success Academy programs that support students in transitions, including foster care youth and justice-involved youth. So these are our 4 regions. We, I believe, are a part of blue. There's also the red, the yellow, and the green. And those are our 4 districts. So this is the 6 of 6.
I'm pretty excited. We've been here 8 years, I believe, and the first time in 8 years, we got the 6 of 6 award for our school. This is pretty exciting. That means we have a 100% graduation rate for all my kids in the program. I had one kid that almost didn't make it, and I had to pick him up. I made sure he got there and he graduated. So I wouldn't be in trouble, so I could reach that. But he went to summer school for 3 days. He got it done. I'm gonna look at you every day. But when you think about that, he knows that I was gonna be at his door. Because you had to complete it. I didn't want my boss to be on my door, which is Michael Munoz. But if I didn't get those kids to go, we're gonna have it. So when I say that, this inspires me. When you think about what the state does, and it's 90%, we were at 100%. Nationally, JAG is at 90%. We got 100%. So I just want to tell you, I pat my students on the back and I pat you guys on the back for being a part of this. So I want to tell you thank you.
Hi everyone, I am the Vice President of JAG at Seaman. We've got some, workforce, future goals that we want us to achieve. First one we have is a company-based curriculum. We know not all students are gonna perform as well as all the other students, so we want to make sure that we tailor, to each specific, student's needs. Some need hands-on, some needs, pen and paper, and they can't do other stuff than that. Then we got project-based learning. This is more of our hands-on stuff. They go in, they tour facilities, they talk about it. They, want to talk about how much they enjoy working, how much they, their goals and what they want to pursue. Then we have career exploration and planning. These are our job fairs or our JAG-K groups. And we talk to the kids, and some kids don't know what they want to do, and that's okay, because I didn't know what I was going to do till now, actually. Then we've got employability skills. This is just the baseline for all of JAG-K classes. We do worksheets, we do papers, we do tests. We just want to make sure that every student knows what is okay and what is not okay to do in the workforce, just so they can go out and have the best chance to put a good foot forward. Then we've got work-based learning opportunities. These are our internships and our tours of facilities. Just going on hands-on learning, see what's, day to day, what they're going to be doing for the next 60 years of their life. Then we've got student leadership. So myself and Juana, we both do this. We are vice presidents. We go in and we, try and help all of the younger kids and all of the kids that aren't, fully, if they like JAG, if they don't like JAG, and we try and put them in the right path and make sure that, JAG is where they want to be. And then our 12-month programming and follow-up, our JAG-K representative will come in yearly and check on us and see how we're doing. If you graduate, or even if you don't graduate and you're a junior and whatever, they want to make sure that, you're exactly where you need to be and say that you have a good, success for your future.
And that's the way. I have to stay involved with the kids after they graduate. 12 months after they graduate high school. My job is to make sure I contact them every month to hear a voice or to go see where they work or to see somebody or find somebody, so I know they're among the living. Also take them where they need to be, or, take them to a job. I kind of do all those kind of well things to make sure that we're successful.
We've got our state and national events. As you know, we do Chiefs games and we go out and we go just help as much as we can. We've got a lot of them. We've got our local initiation and installment ceremony. This was just last month that we did this. We have, we got a stage. We got all the JAG-K students. They come in, they eat food. We talk about ourselves. We've got our regional leadership development conference that took place in October. We went to K-State and we just talked about it, and they showed us what JAG-K was all about, what different things K-State could, hold for us. Then we have our NSLA, our National Student Leadership Academy in Washington, D.C. for state officers and vice presidents. So probably me and one are going to go to that. Then we have our JAG K Day at the Capitol. I believe that's next year or next semester. Our local and regional career development conferences, these are our job fairs, and they come in and the touring of the facilities. That's really an all year kind of thing where we try and, get the kids out as much as possible and make sure that they know that they don't have to go work a 9 to 5 job, but they also don't have to go work and be a blue collar every day and get up at 6:30 a.m. Then we've got our state career development conference. This is our state competition for officers. There's a singular and then there's multiple for a group project, project-based learning, and a couple other things I can't think of off the top of my head. And then our National Career Development Conference. This is in Salt Lake City this year. This is for the students who qualify for state competition, and JAG pays for all of it, and hopefully we can go to nationals. So our vision for quality instruction, really what we want to do is we believe that all students deserve a consistent access to quality instruction. No matter if your parents make $250,000 a year or you are, just scraping by. We want to make sure that you have the best, education possible and you're not missing out just because you couldn't afford the $45 bus fare or the $20 lunch. We just want to make sure that they can get out there and know that not everything is just you get out of high school, you go to college, or you don't go to college. And we want to make sure that they're understanding that it's not all just like that. Our KSDE graduation requirements, all electives align to the individual plan of study. JAG-K includes competences of career development, employability skills, and 3-tier model of employer engagement. They need at least 2 to graduate from JAG-K, and make sure that they are ready and apt for the workforce. And then our KSD graduation requirements is our post-secondary assets aligned to the JAG-K model. There's a lot of these on here. I really don't think you guys want me to go through all of these. I'm pretty sure you can read them a little bit, but just the one thing that they need at least 2 of these. So either 95% attendance or 40 or more community service hours. They need at least 2 of these on this list in order to graduate. And then I believe it's Juan's turn to come up here and talk.
He's like, get me out of here.
Here's the JAG Employer Engagement Framework. Wow, that's real tight. But anyways, this is the exploration. So basically what it's trying to have students do is like understand what work is, right? Because when you leave from high school, you have this idea of like college and I'm gonna go, and it's like, no. Like sometimes you have to work and sometimes you have to get a job. So this lets you know like, hey, this is the exploration. This is how we're gonna help you look for jobs. This is how to apply, resumes. We do it frequently every year. We help students apply for practice resumes and cover letters because a lot of people don't know how to do that, and especially in high school. Exposure, it's getting you out there. So we plan field trips to like Mars or other big big working factories, because a lot of the times they are looking for fresh minds and fresh workers. Be like, hey, you just graduated high school, this is what we can offer you. And so we plan field trips like that, and experience is so that like, hey, get the experience, know what it's like to work out in that field and get an understanding. And the goal is to make sure when you graduate, you have a stable line for you to walk. We want to make sure that you're not just graduating high school with an idea of like, oh, okay, what am I going to do once I graduate? Not just college. It's like, hey, this is how you can support yourself financially and how to be successful, not just in a job that you need once you graduate high school, but also in a job in the real world once you get your degree from college and all that. And this is our community and employer partnerships. We've been to the Kansas and HGs, guys. That was so cool. It was actually really cool because you get to see the environment of everybody and meet different people, not just who you work with in the classroom, but different people actually trying to do community service and get out there and just, fresh faces. And when local industry tours, again, like I spoke, like we get to see different industries and what that's like for us. So we're like, oh, this is the real world. And then to be a community involvement. So like again, we worked at the parade for the government, I believe, and the state. Yeah, we were able to go see that and help. And you get to again see fresh faces and learn what it's like out in your community, what your community needs and what it lacks, and how to better give that. So yeah, and then this is the JAG-K in school model. So ours is truly what JAG-K is to help you be successful. I've been in JAG for about like 4 years, so my freshman year. The first 2 years, I'm not gonna lie, there was teachers who came in and would leave, the class. So it was really hard for me as a student to be like, well, they're leaving, so why do I need to put forth effort in this class? Until Mr. Ross came and was like, you're gonna work, you're gonna be successful. We're gonna make sure you're not leaving here blinded and you're gonna do something because we're all meant to do something. So yeah, this is helping students career to career development and leader type programs. So that's why they offered obviously president, vice president, all that, because we want to be able to offer support to other students. And then middle schools, they offer serves 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the classroom setting. And then the Success Academy services to the system involvement youth, including those in foster care, homeless, and youth justice involvement outside of school classroom settings. Goals focus on building employability skills through competency attainment and incorporating leadership development, career development, civic awareness, service learning, and social awareness. And then this is the student impact outcome. So we also do what's called like Marine Day. So you get to go out there with the troops and they teach you, hey, this is how hard we work. They beat you. They really do. You leave there like, oh my.
Tell me what you had for lunch.
MREs. So it teaches you like, hey, if you're ever interested in joining and serving this country, like this is what we do. This is our everyday. You know what I'm saying? It's different from another person's day-to-day, right? Like a lawyer, they're not going to eat MREs. But this is what they teach you, like, hey, this is what we go through. This is the type of discipline that we apply to ourselves or have so that we are successful in what we want to be successful in. But yeah, it's improved leadership through career association, hands-on experience, again, the Chiefs game, manufacturing day, Marine Day, and community service. So he really makes sure that we're out there again with our community and how to help them. What can we do? How can we be an extra number to help? And then, yeah, this is our key activities and events. This is the I ceremony. So it's like basically saying like, hey, like, this is to honor our presidents and also like, hey, these are the people you could look to. And then this is the Leadership Development Conference, Community Service Projects, and Work-Based Learning Opportunities. So again, just lets you out there and know what it's like to work out in the real world. And then this is the Success Student Highlights, Student of the Month Recognition Program, the Real World Job Experience Opportunities, and Growing Leadership Roles within the JAG-K program. And then our soft skills is community service, again, professionalism, critical thinking, creativity, innovation and teamwork, and financial literacy, career planning, and many more of those skills. Again, when you're in high school, you don't know any of that. So when you go into this class, it really teaches you like, again, GNAP, greetings, name, affiliation, purpose, like, hey, my name is, and it lets you like communicate correctly. Because a lot of times job interviews, you know, I've seen people in my class go in like normal attire that they would at school. And it's just like, you want to give that you're professional. And it teaches you again how to also do that. And thank you. We really do appreciate your guys' time because this class, it means a lot to us. And especially me, I've been in it for 4 years and it really taught me how to mature, not just emotionally, but physically. Like this is how I can make sure that when I leave high school, college isn't my only plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be successful. And as you guys know, like leaving with this program, we've had a lot of success rates. We check up on you, we make sure you're doing good, we help you. It's not just once you graduate, it's a done class. No, we are still a part of you and making sure that you're successful. So thank you. We do appreciate you guys.
Mr. Ross, will you come up here for a second, just stand at the mic? What you're seeing a picture of right now on the board, that is their end of year, I don't know if you call it a
Superintendent
luncheon. And it's at the end of the year. And what you'll find out is those graduating seniors will get testimonials about Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross doesn't just talk a good talk. Mr. Ross does every single day. Because those kids don't lie. They'll tell you the truth. And those kids respect the heck out of Mr. Ross. And because he cares about them, he's going to do, and you've heard it several times, he's going to do whatever it takes to make them successful. If I could clone you, I would. But thank you so much. You are absolutely incredible for these kids.
Thank you. And I want to tell you, it's quite amazing to be here. You know, it's so funny. Kids come by and they come talk to me. I'm like, stuff I don't even want to hear sometimes, but they want to talk. All they want is a listening ear. I had a student that a while back had an issue, and one of my young man that worked at Walmart, and he tried to not be here anymore. And his mother called me and said, "Hey, my son's asking for you. I don't know why, you're his teacher, but you're his trusted adult he wants to talk to." And I'm gonna tell you something, that did something to me. I left school after I got done, went to a little Chinese place, a little buffet down here on, never been there before, but it wasn't bad, but he just wanted to hug me. And it just inspired me because it shows it continues to keep me going. And I have another young man that's sitting out here. He's been through all the programs of JAG. And so he was in my program. He was also in the transitions program. So he's been in all of them. And now he lives with me. He's now my foster son. So he was in my class and he needed somewhere to stay, and somehow he came to live with me. So I don't know how that happened, but he's been a joy to have, because of what you have and what you see and the relationship that you make with these young people. So I'm happy that I have the opportunity, and I'm happy my supportive administration and my principal there even came out to see me tonight. I said, whoa. So I want to tell you, and my supervisor, and I just want to tell you, the staff and everybody, thank you for supporting us, and we hope to be around a long time. Now, I will say this, and if we could look at getting a middle school program here, it would even add on to them. Kids would know when the time they got to high school what we were about. So if you guys think about that and something you want to do, think about it, because we'd love to have one. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Thank you.
We don't have to have a meeting. We can just.
We need more of that.
Right? That's what I was
That's
thinking.
right. All right, superintendent remarks, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. It is absolutely my honor
Chair last time.
to recognize Chris Travis. Let's see, why he wants to trade places with
No,
me.
I'm just gonna give her the chair that doesn't sink.
I brag a lot about our board, and these guys out here that get to work in this district. I think Chris maybe was the first one though to say, isn't that why we hire that guy? Like,
Yeah.
let him and his staff, who's outstanding too, do their job. That's not an easy thing to do. I've got 7 people up here that are smart, capable, everything from educators to representatives to professionals in different areas, and the absolute best board. And Chris Travis, you're gonna be missed, because you're really one of them that started this all out.
It won't take
Thank
long.
you.
You'll move on.
Goodness.
Thank you, sir.
Can we get a picture with everybody in front? All board members?
This.
Make sure you get the
Yep.
shoes.
You get the
Yeah.
shoes.
Sure.
I dressed
Could it
up.
be an Oxford invitation?
Oh, yeah.
I did. So Keith, those are big shoes to fill.
And
Figuratively, and we have expectations for the color of them.
we coordinate, are we okay?
I'm like a sore thumb.
Great.
You always thought.
2, 3. Now everybody go in. Oh, Lord.
Thanks, guys.
Chris is my building tour buddy, so I'm definitely gonna miss him.
What that, oh.
You're my building tour buddy. He's the one that lays on the ground.
So Chris also gets a golden pass. And some of you know my mom's a retired educator from another district. And she's been retired for a few years now, and her pass is this wrinkled up, it was laminated, but it's a wrinkled up, shriveled mess. That won't happen.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is
Keith has
nice.
one of those too.
She's jealous of that one. So thank you. We appreciate it.
We'll miss you, bud.
It's been good. It's been real good. It made a lot of friends. Got to see the inner workings of the school. I had no idea that it was as complex as it is. And I mean, it's going in a good direction. Getting Brad on here was huge. I've said that dozens of times to, I don't even know how many people, but that was we hit the nail on the head when we found him. So it was good. I appreciate you guys.
Well, miss you.
Well, he still lives in our community.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
I think halfway
That's
between
good.
Michelle and.
I mean, he's our neighbor.
What's that?
No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
We like each other most of the time, I promise.
no, we will definitely miss you, sir. Don't be a stranger.
Your humor.
Keep supporting the staff. I mean, it's,
Yes.
we're kind of pawns in this deal. It's these guys and Brad and teachers. And folks like this, I'm on board. Middle school program, get it. It's good stuff. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Are you done?
I'm done.
We will move on to president remarks or the board remarks. So I only have a few things, but first I would like to talk about the KASB convention, those of us that attended. My highlight was that I got to graduate from Leadership for Tomorrow, and that was a really amazing program to be a part of. You know, it's 5 2-day sessions throughout the year. You visit so many schools, from them being a 1A, 2A, all the way to a 6A, and the challenges and opportunities that that district has. It's just a really awesome program to be a part of. So applications are open. If anybody would like a nomination, I'd be more than happy to nominate any of our fellow board members for that program, because it's really cool and not really attended by board members very much. I only had I was one of 3, so it was a really great opportunity to be a part of and just see, you know, different districts in Kansas and experience great presentations from their students and just to learn about those communities and the things that they've done there. So that was my highlight. I mean, aside from sessions, I'll let everybody else talk about that. But the local solutions lab, Diana, if you want to talk about that, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, our own Seaman district was even showcased. Our Viking floral team came down. They were phenomenal. I actually won a bouquet. And then I gave it to somebody because she really wanted it. So I was like, oh, here, you can have this. But one thing that I did put in this one of the state board members' minds, because she came by when we were there, I was like, you know, if you ever need somebody to come present at the state board meeting. So I did send a nice little email to that state board member and the executive secretary of the state board to try and get our Seaman kids to present to
Good.
the state board. So but that was a really cool thing, and they were super excited to see all of us. So yeah, I'll start with Diana down there.
So I found the entire event incredibly valuable. We started with kind of a pre-event called the Local Solutions Lab, where Christy and I were at a table with other board members from Linden, Atchison, Eudora, and Lansing. And the sessions were led with different questions that then we could discuss with the other board members at our table, kind of focused on how we're solving problems within our school district, what we're seeing, what some of the solutions, local solutions, right, that other districts might be implementing. And it was just a great conversation to be having. And kind of what Christy and I both maybe came away with was that, gosh darn, we are doing some things right here. We had a lot of people asking for more information on how we were doing certain things here at our school district, like the program presentations that you do, Megan. People were very interested in that because they're not getting a lot of information at their board tables. But
Or even
overall,
just how, sorry to interrupt, just how we interact as a board. Everybody is super surprised at how well we all get along. 7 different personalities and probably opinions and views, but we can all come together. They were really, I mean, furiously taking notes whenever we started talking, which I guess that's a good thing. But yeah.
it was great. And I told these guys in our board retreat earlier, my biggest lesson is that as a board, we work together incredibly well, and we do great things with you guys and with Brad. We heard a lot of stories of dysfunctional boards, dysfunctional communities that are not working well together for the good of their teachers and their kids. And I came away feeling really great about what we do here. in our community. So kudos to everybody here who makes this easy here.
So I'm gonna plug where I was a little bit ago. So I was at my daughter's at the West Indianola Kindergarten winter program, and this is the program, and my daughter actually designed the artwork on the front. So I'll go anybody. They did great. Mrs. Rumpel and Mr. Martin did a fantastic job organizing it, and the high school like band and kind of the high school teachers did a really good job kind of making the stage look as nice as it did, and it just went off of that hitch. It was awesome. It was really cool to. I'm like now entering the school system and getting to see how cool it is and how proud I am of my little girl. So that was really cool.
Also a good reason to be late to the.
Yeah, I figured I was like, yeah,
Approved.
that's like, yeah, that's like a real one. Can't tell anybody where I actually was, but no. Kind of echoing what Diana was saying. I hit or my highlight, I guess, would be the school finance session with Dr. Adams from Leavenworth. Just it's a very complex issue, but taking some of the information he was giving us, kind of applying it to just like looking at our numbers compared to some of the other districts around here, like comparable ones, non-comparable ones. Some of the examples he gave us of like how state aid can be so drastically different between district to district. Yeah, just like I said, or like Diane was saying, that we are in a pretty good state. May not always seem like it, but Kansas does support education. Kansas does have a pretty solid funding formula when it comes to funding schools. And we really need to make sure it stays that way in 2 years. So
Thanks, Brayden. Michelle.
I was trying to think of the name that I went to that was like the catchy. I can't think of it.
Oh,
Anyway, my classes,
no, they are sessions.
my sessions, I get corrected all the time, were very informative this year. I was impressed. I thought they had better selections and just overall good. But I'm trying to remember the name.
I'm looking. I have the book, but I can't find it.
It was session 2, I think. But anyway, just the ins and outs and ups and downs of being on the board and how through it all, this group works very well together and respects each other. So, yeah, it was a good trip.
Good deal. Does any other board member have any highlight that they would like to talk about? Any remarks? No? I just have two more, and then I promise we'll move on. Literacy Day at the Capitol is January 20th, from 9:30 to 1. So that is a huge initiative that started with the legislature to have a literacy task force. And so Literacy Day at the Capitol, just wanted to point that out there. And also it is the 50th anniversary of IDEA. So Deidre's not here, but just wanted, if you can go to federal website and the Office of Special Education Programs, they have some really cool data from 1976 to just 2023, but I think the very first graduation rate for special education in 1976 was like 42%. And now it's in 2023, it was up to like 72% or something like that. And so just thinking of that, and I think it was like 3.4 million kids in 76 that had been identified for services, and it was like 8.5 now or something like that. So I'm a data person and a nerd about that, and I get excited about stuff like that, but I just think that's really cool that we have IDA in place, especially for our kids with disabilities. So moving on, needed a motion for the consent agenda.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Miss Megan. Hello.
Evening, hello. I just have one item that I want to highlight from our curriculum and instruction report for the evening, and that's the second item on the first page, just touching again on what we did at our most recent MTSS Leadership Training Day. So this was just last Thursday, and as a reminder, this is the training opportunity that we're providing to all administrators in the district as a reset and a reanalysis of our multi-tiered system of supports district-wide. So really, there's three highlights from the day that we engaged in together. The first one was a dive and a processing activity into our district's feedback loop, meaning how do we ensure that communication is moving consistently through all levels of all stakeholders in the district. So for example, the district leadership team, how does information successfully move from there down to our building leadership teams, and from our building leadership teams down into the teacher collaborative teams. And then, of course, our community and parent and student partners, as well as our Board of Education. So we had some really powerful discussion around that and are creating a district visual and representation to hopefully make this process very clear. Once we have that developed, I look forward to bringing and sharing it with you. In fact, in the room, Mr. Jones, his team developed a very nice Viking ship visual of the feedback loop. Mr. Wilson had a Viking head with a beard and things happening with the visual as well. So we hope to merge all these together with the help of Candace and make a nice feedback loop to make it a clear process. We also discussed an initiative inventory that's going to be given to our staff as an opportunity to provide feedback on January 5th. And what the initiative inventory means is an opportunity for them to really reflect on what they identify as some of the initiatives in the district and kind of what's on their plate right now, because we know that teacher plates are very full. They are heavy plates. And so it's hard to discuss maybe pieces that we can take off of the plate to really focus on what matters and what's going to take a district until we hear from them. So our principals and buildings are going to be engaging in that work and that process that's supported by the MTSS team, where we can dive into the data after we give them that opportunity to do the inventory at the beginning of January. And then finally, we wrapped up the day doing some root cause analysis, which is a data deep dive into literacy, which is our chosen focus area that we really want to begin with as our first step in revamping our MTSS system. So a lot of good data discussions and what we can be doing next in that area. So any questions for me about the leadership training that we are involved in?
Right, oh, man, thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Yes.
Oh, Brad is Deidre tonight.
I'm not Deidre, I can't live up to that, but
She'll soon.
she is with her son, who had surgery today. And she just wanted you guys to know to report there, and if you have any questions about anything in the report, shoot her an email, she'll be happy to address that.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Bradley, facility and grounds report.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
I wanted to bring up with the sidewalks around on the north and the east side. Actually wasn't as bad as what we thought, but there was some cracks over here on the north side where the gas line comes in. And in the water line, the last 4 years, we were redoing the road out here and the sidewalks. Vibrated the side of the building. We had water that was coming in and leaking in through that way. So Ben Schreiner's group did the cracks, filled them with epoxy fill. And they've guaranteed that we would not have any more leaks. But when they tore out the concrete, there was no metal rebar, no nothing connected to the building or in the concrete. So that's why we had a major breakdown on the east side of the concrete. And then we found out that we had a drainage system underneath that was completely full of sill. So we had to replace that. So we are all back up and ready to roll again. So the sump pump will probably never work because there's no water going down, but we got a secondary backup. So And then go on down to North Fairview. So when we did our walkthrough right before school, there was some teachers that kind of talked to you guys about their classrooms with the glue coming up through the top. So we started checking into it, and right there in that corner where one of the grounds or the maintenance guys is, right there in that corner. We noticed that a lot of the water sits there and we didn't understand, so we thought it was the irrigation. Well, we started looking into it, and one of my grounds guys took a 7-foot ground pole and shoved it into the ground with his hand. No hammer, no nothing. So come to find out that the AC units up on the roof drains right into that corner also, and then the drain on the other 3 of the gutters we brought out. So we extended that guttering, and then we got rid of the irrigation, and go on and slide down to the next one, Jeff, there. So we cut out the concrete. We did all that ourselves, so hopefully we will eliminate the issue of water coming, the glue coming up. And then I'm working on WI as well. Same side, east side for some reason. So we're working on that process right now over at West Union Knoll. And then the third one is canopies. We have a meeting tomorrow morning night at 9:30. We're starting in Logan. So hopefully this week we'll start getting some concrete in, and then hopefully get some canopies going up at the elementaries.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
any other questions?
Any questions for Lance?
Looks good, bud. Thanks.
Thank you.
Looks nice.
Mr. Tanner.
So last month, pretty sure after making it Deacon's wonderful presentation, Diana or Michelle said that I needed to start presenting, so.
Well,
This
well
again.
done.
Yeah, thank you. So this is just a quick report, summary report of a survey we sent out back in October on our evaluation system. We sent it out to all staff. We had 242 respondents, all coming from different years of experience, so pretty good mix of employees giving us their feedback. Overall, the survey was pretty positive. We really thought as an admin team that we're going to see a lot of negatives to it. But overall, it was a pretty positive perception. What you'll see, one of the lowest ratings at a 55% was the support and follow-up. So we do have a few places in our evaluation system that we definitely need to improve. But getting this data first is probably that first step. Just to point out a couple of the strengths, staff really felt like they understood what admin was looking for when it came to the evaluation system. They're clear on what they're looking for, and they work well with our staff on opportunities for growth. Some of the weaknesses, which in my very first A-team meeting, admin brought this up, was calibration between administrators. So one principal might go into a 3rd grade classroom and rate a teacher at let's say a 4, and another principal might go in there and rate them at a 2. So just kind of working with admin on what does a 4 look like, what's a 3 look like, and so on, is something that we've discussed, and it's going to be one of our goals come spring 26. And then our walkthrough tool is also a weakness, became pretty evident in the data. So to attack that, we're going to put a committee together. We've been working with SEA and Mary Beck to put a committee together so we can look into the evaluation system and hopefully get some good information for you guys and make some recommendations. So that's all I've got. Any questions?
You did great for your first one. Excellent.
Was this certified staff or certified and classified?
This is all, yep, certified and classified. Now, I probably screwed up a little bit on the summary because I think it probably hints towards just certified, but it was all staff. Yep. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Board policy review, is that you?
Back to where it was.
The family night.
Oh, yes. So you mind making that a little bigger for me?
Just a little bit, Jeff.
Yes, please.
Yes, I feel. So as you can see from this policy, we had a request, and the high school does such a fabulous job of when they need, and it's only been twice since I've been superintendent that they've, had a need to have something. One was a, golf practice, for state golf at a course that was only available to them on a Sunday. And then another one was recently asked for a Sunday matinee for their play. And they've done a great job coming to me, asking for that. I probably send them back a time or two and can we get it some way, some other way? But when looking at the policy, what I noticed is it also says Wednesday night as well. Well, obviously, we have a lot of activities on Wednesday nights, practices, events, extracurricular activities, that type of thing. The staff do not ask, and I've never asked them to ask for permission for a Wednesday night. And so we either need to change my practice and make sure that we're not having activities on Wednesday night, or we need to align our policy to our practice so that we can actually do practices and activities. If there is something that is maybe Wednesday after a certain time, we can consider that. But I will tell you, games we would have to figure out how to get games, and that will be a little difficult with conference play and that type of thing to get that out of the evening hours even.
They have games on Wednesdays now.
Like,
Am I correct on that? I would assume we probably do.
Yeah.
When the conference.
Sometimes we have other activities, positive games on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and look at space and try not to use like gates session.
So can I make a motion to remove Wednesday night?
You can, this is just a discussion item. I could also bring it back next month. With that revision to remove that, and then you could vote on it, or you can move it to an action.
can we get an idea of like
The number?
the number of
Yeah.
activities on a Wednesday night before?
Yes.
One other comment too, just to add myself to the
Mhm.
geriatric
Yeah.
committee. When Natalie, like back in the olden days, when Natalie was going through confirmation classes and all that, Wednesday night was
Wednesday's
confirmation.
church
It was, but like even like our church has now moved all those confirmation classes to Sundays.
Oh.
I think there were so many conflicts with school activities, so I understand where the policy was, but why it was put into place. I just don't know if it's still applicable everywhere or not, so I don't know.
There are still some.
My church
I
does.
want to throw something in that was brought up today in the legislative meeting we went to today. The superintendent from Washburn Rural talking about the dials.
Oh, yeah.
And so I guess my perspective is, maybe that anxiety that he talked about, how that's changed over the years. Maybe kids need some time off. Maybe there needs to be time worked into the week where it's family time.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be kept to a minimum. I'm just throwing that out there because of, and it made me
Yeah.
think of when he talked about that today. The difference between the 70s, 80s, whatever, 90s even, he said, and what life's like now.
I love that visual.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So how many events go on Saturday? I know there's some, but how many, I mean, not a lot, or am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, wrestling's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess instead of removing that, can you bring back
Yes.
like how much
data.
is done
Yeah.
on those days?
Yeah.
Did you go back, Brad, this last semester and just count just to?
Yep.
How many times, just so we know,
I guess
Wednesday and Saturday, I guess, if you would. Now, wrestling may not matter because, well, that would have been, yeah. Anyways, if you could do that.
We might try a full year if it's not too much trouble, just so they can see all seasons represented. And then if you just send that to me, I will get that in my Friday notes to them so that they have that information as soon as possible.
You're talking about activities in the evenings, right?
Mhm.
Practice till
Well, I
five or
think you're
whatever.
gonna
It's not,
find
it's not a
it's
big
the
deal.
band concerts,
It's
choir
the-
concerts,
it's the
the
evening
plays,
stuff.
those things that are trying to fit in around sports, and sports have taken over
Right.
everything anymore,
Yeah,
so I bet that's what's a lot of those Wednesdays.
I think we
I
could
just-
probably do a calendar analysis and figure that out.
So that's a good point that you just brought up. So anything, I'm gonna say after 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Cause if they had something right after school and they're done, whether it was a practice or a club meeting or something that was,
So we're talking after 5.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Brett.
Are we good?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
We'll bring that back to you with information. Decide what you want to do with that.
You're the next one, sir. Interactive kindergarten.
Actually, I'm not the next one,
Oh.
but this was brought to us as an agenda item. I sent to you some information that Megan had put together. And I think we've had some staff members who have been interested in both pre-K as well as kindergarten. Sometimes they call it purposeful play, but a more interactive, and again, I'm picturing Donna, that dial again in my head of making sure we foster creativity, we foster the love of learning. At that age, you can hardly keep kids from learning. But maybe looking at changing how we address learning in our earliest kids. And so Mr. McNorton asked for this to be on the agenda. So this is really a board conversation, not a presentation. This is just for you guys to discuss and maybe look at for next steps, or if you want us to do some research or line up some things, we can do that for you. But this is nothing that we have prepared. It's just an item that was asked to have a discussion about.
Yeah, so I'll go a little bit further. I've talked to Brad a little bit about this, and if you look at the links that he sent out and stuff, I also talked to Rachel Stewie, who's one of our long-term kindergarten teachers. She has actually brought it up also. It's ironic because they came up at the same time, so maybe you and Rachel are ganging up on me. Anyways, so I looked at some stuff she had, and I think it's worth exploring. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at it enough to know this is what we want to do, but it's a different, I'm not to say different, it's really going back the way it used to be, if you want to say, but less structured classroom setting and more teaching through play. Is that a good description?
Yeah, not bad. I always struggle a little bit to articulate it, but yeah, it's really very purposeful, but yet sometimes the kids don't even know they're learning, but you put those activities in front of them that help them with their early literacy, early numeracy, those types of things.
Oh, Megan, I'm gonna put you on the spotlight for a minute. What does curriculum look like for that? Do you know?
There would be less, like, there wouldn't be, perhaps a structured curriculum when you think of curriculum, as in a manual or a handbook. It's really a lot of teacher facilitation and an intentionality in preparing activities where students can learn through creativity, through interaction with each other, and through the teacher being the facilitator of those and asking purposeful questions of the students while they're engaged in that learning activity. So there still takes lots of planning and time, and, skills to create those learning activities, but you're not going to find a step-by-step book that says here's exactly what, or curriculum that this is what that looks like. So it's more an educational approach or philosophy.
So for next steps, what would everybody like for our team to gather for us? Obviously, some good examples or places that have put this into into play, I guess. And then what else would we want our administrative team to gather?
Could you get some opinions from the rest of the kindergarten teachers? Just, and I know it may involve a little bit of research on their part, or, you know, a discussion with. Maybe they aren't, I'm sure they, most of them probably are aware of it, but just some information from them, some thoughts. I mean,
And I would say pre-K as well.
Yeah.
Even though
Uh-huh.
pre-K to some extent has that philosophy already, it would be even to a greater extent.
That'd be a great place.
Possible field trips?
And yes, we could take you to a field trip to a few places that are doing it.
So I guess I would have two questions. One is like, how do you still structure to make sure that they are first grade ready, right? Like, what does that look like? How is this being done? And then also we are seeing an increase in kids who are having difficulty sitting still, who are, you know, maybe some more behavioral challenges as they're coming in, or they're not really ready for full-time school. So what does this do in terms of addressing that? Like, does the different type of structure enhance, make more challenges for teachers? It's a couple of questions I would like to know about.
With that, though, also comes in so many, you could have 20 children who come into pre-K or kindergarten, and they have 20 different experiences in their
Right.
life prior. Maybe one of them's, maybe 5 of them's mom stay home with them full time, and that's what they spend their days with mom doing whatever. And it's just such a variety, I guess. Data maybe on, I don't know, what kind of data would be available
We can
to
find
show the success
and
of.
potentially data from groups doing it who have maybe especially when it's like data of their institution before they implemented something like this and after,
Yeah, okay.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's very intriguing because I think there's a lot of potential. I don't know a lot about it yet, but there's a lot of potential for kids helping each other learn. And I really, really like that idea, because you're going to have kids that are maybe a little bit behind sitting right next to a kid that might be a little more advanced with something, whether they're building something or playing a game or whatever it is, but they'll be feeding off of each other. And it's going to, I think it's got the potential to really get the creative juices going there. So it's a neat idea.
I think when Brad brought this to us and we talked about it, I'm gonna date myself, but I just remember the old Adventure Center here in
Yeah.
Topeka. And I know that was for a little bit older, because I think we were like probably 4th, 5th, or 6th grade for that, but that was such a fantastic program that we kind of got, we were able to be a part of. And that's when I was enrolled in 501 at the time, before I moved to Shanghai. So it was a great program. So I think it would be great if you and your team could come up with all of that information.
Best team, I know that.
And thank you, Kyle, for putting this on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's great.
I just think it's worth a look.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Any more discussion around that? All right, moving on. Miss Megan, we're back to you. Program planning guide.
Okay, last month, I brought the program planning guide to you for the first look. And so I'm bringing it to you tonight with a couple addendums for final approval. So if you're looking at the document online, you can see that there was an addendum section added for both the middle school and the high school. I'm going to start with the middle school addendum, which is related to the plus classes that we had some really good discussion about last time. Based off of some of the recommendations that came from the meeting, the week following the board meeting, with the help of Mr. Johnson and his building leadership team, we developed 2 surveys, one that went out to middle school staff and one survey that went out to middle school parents about the plus classes. And I just wanted to share some of the data that came back from those surveys with you, just to highlight the decision and recommendation that we are bringing to you today. So first off, just from the staff survey, there were several questions that we included just about plus classes, but the question that got to the root of the matter was, which option do you believe is most beneficial for 7th grade students? And that was the difference between continuing to offer plus classes to both 7th grade and 8th grade, or to discontinue all 7th grade plus classes. And overwhelmingly, at an 80.5% response rate, the staff, and we had 41 staff who responded, said that they would recommend continuing with the plus classes at 7th grade. So that was very telling from the staff as well. One other staff data point was in response to the question, how well do current plus class placements reflect the actual readiness or needs of 7th grade students? And on this one, the response of somewhat well was the highest response at 56%, which shows that that is an area of improvement in looking at how we place our students accurately into 7th grade, which you'll see in our recommendation. And then on the the parent survey, a couple questions to share back from that. Specifically, in your opinion, and this was to the plus class parents, anyone who had previously, like an 8th grade parent who had had a student in plus class, or any current 7th grade plus parents. In your opinion, is 7th grade or 8th grade a more appropriate time for middle school students to begin taking plus classes? And that was an 80% response rate for saying that 7th grade is appropriate and had been successful for their students. I would like to say also with the parent survey, we used it as an opportunity to survey all parents in regards to enrollment options and how enrollment and placement had gone for them and their students so far. And we got some really good, just informative data in all areas beyond just plus classes, but a couple celebration points, if I can find them very quickly, would be that how well do you feel that the current course options meet your students' academic needs? We had 88% of our parents telling us that it was meeting them either well or very well. So that was very affirming and positive data, as well as to what extent do you believe your student is being academically challenged? And 84% of our parents felt that it was very appropriate in the challenging department. So we're doing some things well, got some great feedback, as well as good guidance on our plus class offerings, which brings me to the addendum that we are recommending to maintain plus classes at 7th grade for both ELA and math, and include a prerequisite for those incoming 7th grade students that we'd be looking at the required benchmark assessment threshold that all 6th grade students get. So that's our fast bridge benchmark threshold based on their end of year placement. So like our current 6th graders, we would look at their benchmark performance at end of year in order to see qualifiers for students who opt in and want to take the plus class. We also, for our 8th grade plus classes of language arts and math, we would like to also add that prerequisite of benchmark assessments, just so it's consistent across all grade levels, as well as, and this was in there previously, maintaining the A in 7th grade language arts, or an A or B if they happen to take a plus class in 7th grade. You can follow all of that. So that's our addendum for the middle school. Any questions on that before I proceed to high school?
The only question I would have is, so if their fast bridge scores, I guess I would figure I know the answer to this, but if their fast bridge scores qualifies them, are they required to be in the plus class?
No,
Okay.
only if they
Okay.
select that on
And
their
the
enrollment.
parent
Yes.
chooses with
Yes.
their qualifying score.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
What percentage of parents responded to the survey, of like the middle school?
We had, well, I would need to find the total parent number, but we had 147 responses total out of our parent student body.
Very good.
So yeah, those percentages, so that would be over half.
I didn't know if it was just.
Well, no, not over half, but yes. Good
For
question.
doing that extra work. I do greatly appreciate it.
No, it was very, it was great to get the feedback and guidance so that we can make the best decision, you know, for staff and students. Absolutely.
Thank you, Megan,
you.
but also thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right, really quickly then, the addendum for the high school was just a quick addendum on our SUMA requirements. And this was a final addition as we've been looking at updating the SUMA requirements to the updated schedule. And that is that previously we had not counted Washburn dual credit classes as SUMA qualifiers. However, with the shortened schedule, that's one less opportunity to get all the required SUMA credits of AP and everything. So adding in the dual credit just expands those offerings. Those are high rigor classes, and so it seemed to be a good fit.
Man, couldn't we have done that last year? My kid got that. I'm just kidding. He really did.
So, with those addendums, we seek your approval for the program planning guide.
Any more questions, Megan? The motion.
Make a motion to accept the changes to the program planning guide as presented.
Second.
Been moved in second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan, and thanks
Thank
again, Mr. Johnson.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Good job.
you. Okay. I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss confidential employee information pursuant to the exception relating to personnel matters of non-elected personnel, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom no later than 7:51. We would like to invite Mr. Tanner Smith.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. make a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiations pursuant to employee negotiations under coma. And the open meeting will resume in the boardroom no later than 7:56.
Second. Oh, sorry.
I'm inviting Marty and Tanner.
Brett.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Rude.
Mhm.
I would like to make a motion to approve the MOU that the teachers approved over 80% as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Anything else? You can't talk about.
Probably Candace get a copy of that and maybe attach it to this motion so that it's public record.
Do you want a roll call or do you want just?
No.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.